Sometimes you just gotta wing it. I had a wonderful idea. Change the oil in my wife's car and my car. And I don't have my service vehicle here. All my tools are in my van. So I'm very limited on my tools. Luckily, I was able to use this in my hands. This one, it's a pain in the butt. It's always been a pain in the butt. I don't have the right tool for it, but I do have a claw that I use on this. It works all the time, but it's in the van. So this is all I had here. Would not work. So I have this here. This would not work either. It's too small. And I've had this thing, this strap thing for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I bought it and I don't think I've ever been able to use it once to actually do something. So what I did was cut it off, fed it in through here, and used this, and I was able to get that off. So I'll try to do this one-handed here, just to show. I had to kind of double it up there to take up the slack. And I used the SCP filter because that's what they had in stock at the AutoZones. I thought I had a filter in my van, but turns out that I have a filter right there. But whatever, I'm going to use this one. I like to use Wix filters for no other reason than because Derek from Vice Grip Garage uses them. That's literally the only reason why I like to use them. It's a little dark under here, but screw it on best I can with my super strength. And take my modified tool, and that's it. Right now it's hard to do because I got one hand, but if you put two hands on it, it works a lot easier. And this is now I got to readjust it, but you get the point. I'll be tightening in a moment. And I put the little safety tab that does nothing back on it, and just fill it up, and that's it. Part 2 of just winging it. I only got one 8mm, and that's a 10mm. Don't even have a ratchet, so I gotta use this. This thing is not starting. Give it a little toot of starter fluid. She starts up and then dies right out. It's got a full tank of gas, so I gotta see if I have a clog or maybe a stuck needle or something. Why am I doing this stuff now when I don't have any tools? I don't know. Come on there, fella. Let me see here. I can't really see in there. It doesn't look dirty or nothing. The air filter was kind of dirty, but I don't know how I'm going to clean this stuff off. I don't even have anything to clean anything off with. Okay, so that's probably a 10 as well. Alright, well, let me fart around with this. Let's see if I can turn this off for a second. Alright, what I did is I just pulled it off and set that on here for a second and see if I got any flow. I do. So it's not clogged. A little dirty there, fell in there. A little bit fell in there. So I'm just gonna, I might have to run to AutoZone again, get something to clean all this up with. Figured I'd bring it inside where the lighting is worse. And use this guy again. I'm just going to take it apart. Put your gasoline on my toolbox. And by no means am I a small engine guy or a carburetor guy. So, safe to say, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have rebuilt this a couple times. Oop. That's what I didn't want to do. I don't know if that piece of crap was... Yeah, it doesn't look... It's not clogged. See anything weird? A little dirty there. I'll clean as much out as I can. I don't feel like taking any jets out or anything. I'm not even entirely sure if I have a screwdriver here that can handle that job. Not this one, but it is not going to work for that. That might work. It's too fat. Won't fit in there. The blade's too fat. It's not cool not having the tools. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneeze in a second. Whew. Probably run and get some cleaner for this. I'm going to try to clean it out, clean the ports as best I can, blow some air through it. So, all rebuilt. And by rebuilt, I mean just cleaned. I got to get this fella back on there. Hangs on there like so. Drop it in the little hole. Hopefully it stays on. Okay, so that's in. That's all back together. Give it another little toot. Now, I'm pretty sure there was a copper gasket when I started, and now I don't have it. That might be a huge problem. There it is. I gotta take it back off and put it on. Ha! All better. No focus. There it is. It's on. Just because I want to make sure it doesn't leak out. See what happens here. Make sure the bowl doesn't just start overflowing on me. Got it all back together. It's as clean as I'm going to make it. Probably could use a new air filter. Not worried about that right now. And, let's see how much oil I have on it. Do I even have any oil on it? She got oil on it. Well, it's running. Like I said, I'm no small motor guy. At least now it's running, barely. I'm gonna go cut my grass. That didn't last long. It's coming out the bowl. I had it running. It wasn't running great, but my wife felt it necessary to tell me something that was not really important, but I had to shut it off because she needed to tell me something, and then it didn't start back up again. So now I'm screwed again with no goddamn tools. See if I turn it on. Fuel just starts coming out. There it goes, starts dripping. I know she's flooded. Nice and fouled. Had to use a ridiculously long bar because that's all I got here. Well, actually, it's a torque wrench. Got it. Changed the oil. It was pretty low on oil, and it was pretty washed out with fuel. So as soon as I changed the oil and put the cart back on, there was no problems inside, no dirt or nothing. And then now it runs great, nice and quiet, nice and loud for a video, huh?